On 88.7 FM. Nigeria, a country rich in economic potentials ranging from agriculture, commerce, crude oil, and varieties of mineral resources. Yet, she battles in insecurity, political and economic instability.
Most recent action of declaring himself the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Being arrested.
Be a victim in Nigeria is no longer a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And if you think it will not be your thought, guess what? The last person also thought the same way.
Live in any of our cities is to live in the war front.
We have no other country but Nigeria. Anybody who thought in any other country than Nigeria, goodbye. You can go. We are here.
To see the number of boys who are now turning from all our learning institutions, coming out with having no work to do.
What is the solution? Join Nedu Okorie on National Affairs, where the focus is on agriculture, education, politics, ethnics, and religious violence, and so much more. National Affairs every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Diamond 88.7 FM. National Affairs, the people, issues, and the government.
All right, it's another wonderful Saturday to be back here on National Affairs. This is your shining supreme station, Diamond 88.7 FM, and it's 2 minutes gone past the hour of 10. Welcome to the program where we analyze issues that are trending on from the national dailies, and also issues that, that were trended during the week. This is the time where we analyze these issues. Yes, talking about trending issues, we had many issues that occurred, and amongst those that occurred that are very important to discuss is the security situation in Nigeria. And it has once again attracted global attention. Yes, it is actually not for the good reasons, but for the wrong reasons. Questions are being asked about the safety of communities that are far from, the city centers. Today, we'll be examining these troubling patterns, how these armed groups and bandits notify communities before the attack, how they kill in large numbers, how they disappear into the forest, and how security operatives arrive long after the incident has occurred. But let me be clear from the onset, this program is not about casting blame and aspersions or, trading accusations. No, it is about understanding the root causes of insecurity, how to identify the gaps that exist, and also how to contribute meaningful solutions that can help, nip this menace in the bud. So the big questions we are asking this morning is, who is enabling this cycle of violence? Who must be held accountable? What is actually the motivation of this, bandits, these repeated attacks? And how is it possible that they can carry out these massive killings and escape? These are the questions that many Nigerians are asking this morning. My name is Nedu Okorie. My friends call me Mazio Dogu. Since you are my friend, you can call me Mazio Dogu. Our focus today is, particularly on the deadly attack in the Wuru and Nuku communities in Kayama local government area, which has, reignited concerns about insecurity that is rapidly spreading into the north-central part of Nigeria. Well, there have been reactive statements, and reactive actions. The governor has visited the place and he described it as a pure massacre due to the fact that the community refused to accept a particular, doctrine. International organizations and countries, the US, Turkey, the United Nations, even opposition parties have reacted as well. The president also has deployed Operation Savannah Shield, yes, from the Army Battalion. The IG also has, made his own deployments, various reactive, actions. But beyond all these official statements, what actually happened on ground? The community leaders have also, reacted, and they mentioned that the security forces arrived 10 hours after the incident occurred. But I won't be discussing this alone this morning. I'm being joined by a public affairs commentator and also a security analyst and expert. He's actually the former police public relations officer here in Kwara State. That's talking about SP Ajayi Okasomi, retired. A very wonderful morning to you, sir.
Thank you so much, my very beautifully voiced.
You're welcome this morning. It's so good to have you for the first time, having a conversation with you. Let's discuss what is going on in Kwara State. Despite the fact that the community leader in Wuru community have expressed concern, the attack occurred around 5 p.m. and security forces arrived around 3 a.m., 10 hours after. But the police said that the security forces were overwhelmed due to the large numbers of insurgents. But how would you react to this? Because the main point, what we're trying to do is to nip the menace in the bud.
Thank you so much, Nedu. And to our listeners, I say good morning and happy weekend. Even as we are not really too happy because of what happened in Kayama, a lot of lives were lost due to negligence on the part of the people, on the part of the government, and on the part of security agencies. All of us have one way or the other contributed in the kind of situation we find ourselves in Nigeria and in Kwara State. So may the souls of the departed rest in peace. Amen. And we want to, say God should comfort the families that are directly involved and our status in general.
Okay.
Now, talking about what really happened, like as unfortunate as it is, you said the police said they are overwhelmed. It's not the police alone that is overwhelmed. Every individual, every citizen of Nigeria is actually overwhelmed with whatever is happening. Because nobody is comfortable. Nobody seems to be safe anymore. Even the rich that surround themselves with security agencies and the rest of them are not really safe inside of them. Everybody is actually concerned.
Yeah.
But not talking about, I will take my argument from this angle. It is fundamental in the sense that the Nigeria system itself has contributed greatly in what is actually happened today. One, the government has failed in doing what is their duty. One, we know that two items are reasons of forming a government: security of lives, then welfare of the people.
Yeah.
Now the government, there is no amount of money that is too much to expend on security. Because that is the main duty the government is supposed to perform to the citizens. The police are in the Constitution under Section 214. I'm not a lawyer, but we know that there shall be one Nigerian police. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And their main duty, their core duty, is the protection of lives and property, maintaining law and order in the country.
Yeah.
While the military are to protect the sovereignty and defend our territorial integrity against external aggression.
Forces, yeah.
But you discover that the police duty the police have been sidelined in the order of things. The military have now been drafted to take over the duty that is primarily, supposed to be that of the police. Every little thing they call the military. Even as what is happening, nobody is talking about police. Everybody will say, okay, bring the police, bring the military, create a military post. And we forget to understand that the military are not trained for internal security. They are trained to face aggression. Now, we can say the level of the insurgencies is greater than what the police can actually confront. Right, it is true.
Okay.
But if the police have been well equipped, if the police have been given all the necessity, all the capacity to fight this, in this country, the police has fought so many insurgency. I remember when we were very young, there's this one they call Metasine riot in Kano and in some other states of the country, northern part of the country, very, very devastating, very, very heinous, that even like what is happening now, because at that time, we are not as much as we are today.
Yeah.
But the police were the ones that confronted that, and they showed that those things were completely, quashed. But today, the police does not have the capacity. Even when this issue of Boko Haram started,
yes,
in this country, the mobile police were the core, security agents that confronted them, and they were making a success of it until they said the military should be drafted. The military was drafted, and till today, we are still crying that the military should be drafted. Nothing. The police does not have the equipment. They were not motivated, talking about welfare and all that. So those are the reasons. That is number one of what I think is really happening.
Okay.
The government should go back to the factory reset. Let the police be given the capacity to do what they are supposed to do. If the police have the capacity on intelligence gathering, capacity on prosecution, and capacity to mobilize the people on their side, all these things will be.
So you believe that right now the police force, as it stands in the nation, is not well equipped to, repel these attackers?
See, we shouldn't deceive ourselves. They are not well equipped to confront this attack. Forget about what people find. The authority, the people in authority will always come to say, okay, they are getting what they are expected to get, but we know it is not the truth. They are not getting, for example, in this state, in this Kwara state now, do we have any armored personnel carrier in Kwara state as a whole? None. None. No single armored personnel carrier that the police can use to confront any attack. That equipment can frustrate the enemy and also protect the policemen inside. But we don't have a single one in Kwara State. So you understand? Right. Then the commissioner cannot come and tell you he doesn't have the capacity, because if you say he doesn't have the capacity, then say maybe it's not capable. It's not competent. And we know that the commissioner of police is more than capable. If he's posted, let him go to Ghana or to America to do a commissioner of police, it will be the number one in the whole world. With the capacity I know the man has. But there is nowhere with that.
No resources.
To do what he is expected to do.
All right. Now let's take a look at another, pressing issue concerning insecurity. I think on Thursday, I reported a finding from next year's Security, Peace and Development Program that raised the alarm about, the dependence on ransom payments and negotiation with armed groups, not just by the community members, but also by some state governments. And according to this report, it states that Nigeria is gradually, delving into what is known as the ransom economy or the kidnapping economy, and which is making violence profitable. But many are saying that if this is not, or they are saying that if this is not well checked, that it will actually continue this trend and it will finance future, attacks. What do you make of this assertion? Do you think that these individuals are, what's that word again? Decommercializing the nation as it stands. What's your stand?
You see, ordinarily, when I was the public relations officer of the police, we always come out to announce to people that we should discourage payment of ransom in any case of kidnap.
Yes.
We all know the consequences of what we are doing. Nigeria is a state, it's a country where when something is happening and few people have made gains out of it, it becomes very common. Everybody wants to divert to such. We have a lot of examples on that. When this kidnapping issue started, we can trace the history back to during the agitation for resource control in the Niger Delta area. But that one was, they have an agenda. They will know what they are fighting for.
Yes.
They are not kidnapping anyhow people. They kidnap the white to use them as bargaining for resource control for their region.
Yeah.
And when a retired, late Musa Yar'Adua came, he called them and they spoke, and what they needed was given to them. Their resource, was raised, and everything went off. And people began to use that as a way of making money now, before it became what it is today. Paying of ransom, like the next award, paying of ransom a ransom, like they have suggested, is not in any way helping this matter. Because now, sometimes people have this belief that kidnapping is done by mainly herdsmen.
Yes.
I don't want to attach any, but herdsmen that they have come to kidnap people and the rest of. But you discover that most times when we arrest some of these kidnappers, we discover that people of other regions
Yes.
do it. There was one that trended sometimes in Aushi or Edo where some characters were coming to say that. So it is something that has now become an economic power for these people that are doing it. And the fact is that when you kidnap one person and you collect 20 million, 30 million, 50 million, so we even go as far as telling you to bring 200 million. Not only will they even collect money, they will still collect like 10 Okada, the motorcycles. They will tell you to buy the charge card of 100,000, and they will bring and give to them, and you expect them to hands off, to release, to forget about those profitable business. They will not. So I support this agitation that people should stop payment of ransom.
Okay.
Though nobody will be happy that his family is in the captivity of this kidnapper, because we don't know what they are doing to some of them. They die in the course. Some of them will even kill and then still collect
The ransom.
money. So I think the government paying ransom, some state government paying ransom, are subtly encouraging those people to continue. Because if you look at it, we are just going to tell ourselves the truth. If you look at it now, some people are benefiting seriously from what is happening today. So it is going to be difficult for them to even stop it. Why some are coming out boldly to tell you we are against kidnapping, we are against this, we get underground? They are the ones sponsoring them. They are the one encouraging them to continue because they want to use it as a bargaining, either with the government or whatever. And we know kidnapping has reasons. It could be as a form of defense. It could be as a form of revenge. It could be a source of economic rejuvenation. Some people do it to undermine the authority of. So they have a lot of reasons for doing this.
All right. Now,
so it is not advisable.
Now, we are in a digital age where things can be done smoothly and electronically. Now, talking about negotiations, we've seen different individuals who are even civilians on social media coming out to say that they are assisting security forces in helping to negotiate with terrorists, and some even go further to say that they plant electronic devices to trace the movement of the cash and all that. And we've also seen some other cases where people use fake accounts to receive these transactions. Are there no ways that technology, digital electronics can be employed? Because if it can be employed for other reasons, to checkmate financial fraud and all that, why can't it be employed to checkmate these insurgents?
You see, in my own experience, there were times we arrest some of these kidnappers.
Yes.
And you can't get more than 5,000, 10,000 naira in their possession. And when you hear the amount of money paid to them as ransom, you wonder.
That means they have uplines.
Where that money, goes to. And when you see them, when you arrest, even with the images we see on video, you see these are just riffraff. These are people that are on one-on-one. When they see you on the street, they can't tell you where are you going. You understand? So that is to tell you that we have some very powerful people behind this. Now, you're talking about movement of money.
Yes.
How can a large sum of money be paid in scores of millions, be paid to some set of people, and you tell me there is no way to trace where that money is going? Fine, we believe some people have banks in their homes, some people have some reservoir where they keep monies, but between the movement from one point to the other, if the government and the people are interested in tracing or in tracking this money, they have the capability of doing that. But they are not doing that for whatever reason they can tell us. Now, you're talking about people that are negotiating.
Yeah.
If the government means, fine, when you talk about negotiation, in the real war situation, it is acceptable. Holding prisoners of war and trying to use them to negotiate maybe the end of war or the ceasefire or whatever, then we can exchange these prisoners of war to whoever they want to exchange. But not in the criminal situation like what we're having in Nigeria today. Even the negotiators of this exchange between the bandits or the criminals and the government are part and parcel of this criminality. In a sense, in a government that really meant to do something, those persons can be arrested. Actually, they really want to get to the source of this.
Indirectly, they are aiding and abetting.
That is why I'm telling you. And we cannot even overlook that, because sometimes last year, I saw a video which was real, where these criminals, these bandits, were brought from the bush. They came to the open in Katsina State, where they said they were holding peace meeting.
Yes.
These are people we are looking for. These are people we have been charging, they are bandits, they are killing, and we see them in full gear, wearing ammunition, carrying heavy weapons, prohibited weapons, and they came out of the city to hold meeting with government officials. Some of them wearing police uniforms, some of them wearing military uniform, and all these are people we claim to be looking for, but they say they are coming to do peace deal. How can you do peace deal with criminal? And they have done 2-3 kind of peace meeting like that. Then it doesn't stop. Last week, or I think about 3 or 4 days ago, we had a story about 20 people killed in Katsina State again. So all these things, the government know what to do if they really want to do this. There are people, maybe powerful people, that are behind all these activities. There are powerful people that the government are shying away of dealing with. So that is what I see. But payment of ransom is completely out of it, because when you do that, you are just oiling the wheel of this kidnapping by allowing money to exchange hands.
All right, you're still listening to National Affairs on Diamond 88.7 FM. And this morning, we're taking a look at the broader perspective concerning insecurity in Nigeria, banditry, the complicity of some individuals in the country, and also the response of the Nigerian government. The big question here is the government losing control of Nigeria's remote communities? Because these are the communities that are vulnerable to these attacks. The number to call right now is 0913-655-6952. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning. What's your name?
This is Dr. Larry Okiki, exponent calling from Okorie.
All right, quickly go ahead with your contribution.
I wanted to commend the effort of the presenter.
Thank you.
And brother Okasemi that is in the studio. So I usually enjoy Okasemi whenever I was on the program like this.
All right, please go ahead with your contribution.
The causes of insecurity in Nigeria, what helps insecurity is that is a failure of government. So, and the way our political office holders are handling the insecurities in Nigeria. So this banditry operated mostly in the democracy era, not in the time of the military, that they are giving them a firing squad. So what helps this banditry are these reasons. Insincerity of our political office holders, injustice, indiscipline, high rate of poverty, pardoning of criminals, justice delay, which is justice delay, and finally, high rate of corruption, which is the root cause of all inconveniences and hardships that we are facing right now in Nigeria. So governments should try to find the last solutions to it, and they should be sincere in the masses that they are governed.
All right.
Dr. Larry, exponent from Okorie.
Thank you so much, Dr. Larry, for your submission. Keep your calls coming in, 09136556952. That's the number to call. Yes, what's your reaction? What's your take on insecurity in the country, particularly Kwara State? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. What's your name?
This is Mohammed calling from Zanguera.
You're welcome, Mohammed.
Yes, I really commend the comments and the proclamation of guests there.
Okay.
They have said it all. But I think this criminalities of this thing has gone beyond federal government control, especially with this political era which we are. Because I do think this banditry has been on right from what's it called, Murtala and Buhari era or whatever. And this federal government knows about it, knew about the whole thing. Instead of prioritizing the security of our citizens, they start building Lagos, Calabar, with 16 trillion naira. In which half of it, even half of it, can even solve the security problem. I think now, in order to curb the problem now, I think there's a consistency between our military and the police forces. I think to solve the problem that we need some external, I don't mean America, we have some neighboring, soldiers and military men who do not speak our language, because anytime there's information, they pass it to these people. But by the time we have those ones that cannot speak any of our language here, and these people are controlled and pushed into this, and this thing will go down.
All
Thank you
right.
very much.
Thank you so much, Mohammed, for your contribution. All right, quickly, we have to go on a commercial break. And when we come back, we'll still discuss and take more reactions. When we come back, we'll be taking a look at some of the reactions of the opposition in Kwara State. That's talking about the PDP, what they had to say, and we'll also analyze their reaction. This is still National Affairs on Diamond 88.7 FM, and I have been speaking with SP Ajayi Okasami, retired, the former PPRO in Kwara State. I'll be right back.
Lubu mara chi pepe merokani, energy drink don't mara kope merokani o. Eje tu mo belura kara kope meroka ondara kamani lowo. Lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ nínú mọ́tò tó bá ti fẹ́ máa rẹ ni meroka ni ó já sómi belura kápára dé o. Meroka o meroka energy drink kì í máa dà. Lọ́nà fún tọkùnrin tóbìnrin ló lè mú Meroka ẹnàdìrìnkì má dára.
Meroka agbára gbàǹgbà agbára tó jagbára lọ energy drink lọ́gán tó bá wọnú ara agbára ti dé. Àjọ NAFDAC jẹ́ ló ń tẹ̀. Ilé-iṣẹ́ tó lórúkọ tó ṣe gbẹ́kẹ̀lé níbi ká pọ̀ oògùn òyìnbó tó yí pharmaceutical ló gbé jáde.
Meroka ẹnàdìrìnkì má dára.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Diamond 87 FM. Diamond FM, shining supreme.
All right, you're welcome back from that commercial break. We're still glad you're listening to your shining supreme station. Welcome back. All right, still talking about insecurity in the state. Well, as of Thursday, yes, it was reported that 13 more bodies were, buried in the Woro community, and also the area has been deserted completely. Well, talking about the reaction of the PDP in Kwara State, and they accused the government of ignoring prior warnings. Yes, because according to them, the bandits sent warnings that they are coming, and it was reported that they are coming for, to impose their religious beliefs on them. But the PDP also called for urgent, humanitarian assistance and all that. But beyond all the condemnation and everything, let us look at it. Let's look at it from a political angle. The opposition party PDP is meant to, call for accountability from the ruling government and also to champion the cause of the party. But don't you think that they are also meant to, support the state government in terms of humanitarian assistance or even visiting and commiserating, and also as a body? It's not. Don't you think that it shouldn't only be politics, but they should also have some sort of community social responsibility that they offer?
That's the kind of politics that we play in Nigeria. We understand in 2011, was it 2011 or 2015?
Yeah.
The removal of President Jonathan,
yes,
was based on the fact that there was is it banditry then or kidnappers or whatever. Chibok girls were abducted from schools, and all those things formed the basis of campaign by the opposing party then.
Yes.
And they used that successfully in ousting the man from power. So the politicians, they look at what can benefit them, regardless of what the community or what the people feel about what really happened. I understand there was, it has always been like that, like I said. The PDP now are trying to use this as a way of political stuff against the current APC, propaganda against if the government were to be that of PDP and the APC if the APC happen to be in opposition, the same thing they too will do, because they are also looking for ways of garnering support of the people that they are supporting. But what I think is what I think should have been done is ways by which this kind of thing should stop happening. We see what happened in America in 9/11 when that issue of Pentagon and that serious attack happened.
Yes.
Regardless of political inclination, everybody came together to confront that, and after that, politicking started. That's what I expected to do in this situation. The lives of those people that are lost are not supposed to be used as what to be used as a campaign, whatever, for whatever party. We should all confront this and seek for ways where these things cannot happen. I'm not saying what the PDP are saying is wrong or is right. When you look at it ordinarily, yes, the government should be proactive. The security agency should be proactive. Nothing like this should have been allowed to happen. But now that it has happened, I don't think we should start, talking about using it as a political whatever. We should all come together and say, this thing that happened, what can we do to ensure that it doesn't happen again? And after that, then you can now come out and begin to do your political. But what the PDP did is the same thing the APC would have done if they are in opposition. It has been happening in Nigeria, and that is what is happening. Even some people are even having some school of thought believe that even this insurgency, all this that is happening, is directed at the president. It is directed at using it as a form of
to weaken his government,
and eventually removing from government. So it has been like that in Nigeria, and I don't think it is the right thing to do. We should all come back together and seek to protect this nation, because we don't have any other country apart from this Nigeria. Politics will go. Nobody can be in politics forever. We have a lot of politicians that are still at home that could not even do anything again today. So we should all come together and confront this evil, and we should remove, because the lives of those people that are wasted.
Yes.
They are children, their father, their husband, and their wives to some people. Even I was even told one SUG student, and one SUG president was among the people that was killed. So what do you think the parents who have spent so much money for? So we should forget about politics this time around and come together and confront this war.
Yes, I agree with that. Let's forget about politics and come together to fight this war that is ravaging Nigeria. But, when issues like this are happening, I always try to look at it not just at the face value, but to look at it deeply. We've looked at some political angles to it, and you've rightly mentioned that probably it might be as a result of some opposition wranglings that is occurring. But there was a time when the United States were, intensifying their concerns concerning what is happening and terming it as a Christian genocide. And the government was also refuting that and claiming that it is a general violence that is occurring. But this particular one that occurred, it doesn't seem like a Christian genocide at all. Now, if we look at it deeply, what are your thoughts? Because some people are saying it might be an orchestrated plan to denounce or debunk that narrative.
Actually, every thought like that can be real. It can be possible. But what I am saying is that now, I do not even see any reason. I'm so sorry, apology to whoever is listening. I do not see reasons why the governor will come out to even mention that all the people that were killed were Muslim. In my own opinion, I do not see reasons for that pronunciation. Life is life. Do you understand? Be it Christian, Muslim, or even traditional practitioner.
Yes.
When life is lost, we should forget about, attaching it or attributing it to religion, to tribe, to political party. Let us believe in humanity. These people are dead. What do we do for something like that not to happen again? Like somebody, like the person you think, or the group of people that were saying, maybe this one was done to neutralize that belief that it was a Christian genocide, it was this and that these people are bringing indoctrination. They want the people to come. Why must it be in that place that they want the indoctrination to come? Because of that, they want to come and kill if they say they don't want to. Must coming, joining a particular, must it be a thing of life and death? There must be something underneath. before you come, because you have been trying to propagate your own kind of a religion to them, and they say they are not interested. Can the whole group of people agree to not to accept a particular? Is it not an individual thing?
Yes.
Religion is something between you and your God. So you understand? Not that everybody will now come and say we do not want to.
Yeah.
Fine, even if there's cooperation among the community, that does not make these people come to level the community. So you get?
Yes.
So all these things, I just look at it as something that is not really relevant to what has happened. These are criminals, whether they are Christian, they are Muslim, they are traditionalists. What they have done is against humanity, is against the law of the land. So we should all look at it as something that is not normal. So we should refuse to attach it to either religion. The American people, the American president, they were talking about Christian genocide. Yes, people will be saying yes, but we in Nigeria, we know that these people, when they kidnap you, they will not ask you whether you're a Christian or a Muslim. If these bandits come to a community, they will not ask whether in Yelwata they didn't separate Christian from Muslim. They killed in whatever places they go. They do. So we should forget about this. There is genocide. Muslims are involved. Christians are victims. Fine, in some cases, it might be the larger number could be Christian. In another community, the larger, depending on the people that are staying in such community that this thing happen. So we should forget about attaching it to religion. We should face what is happening, this criminality, and we should look for ways of confronting it.
Yes, that is the most important point, looking for ways to confront the criminality that is going on in our nation. Well, still talking about the way forward. Now, you mentioned that to practice a particular religion is not by force. Everyone has the liberty to practice whatever religion. But in Nigeria right now, except we deceive ourselves, religion and ethnicity, religion and tribalism has been a tool that has been used by some individuals, by some politicians, by some elites to destabilize the nation. And if we look at what is going on right now, it has transcended from even the older generation to the younger generation. If you go on social media right now, especially on Twitter, you see different ethnicity battling, not on issues, but attacking their ethnicity. Now, I want us to look at the way forward as Nigerians. We believe that we are all humans first, before we are Africans, before we are Nigerians. That is the most important thing. And Nigeria as a nation has been well recognized around the globe for good things, for its art and entertainment, for sports and various other aspects. But why is it that in areas of welfare for the people, politics, we see things like tribalism and religion dividing us? What is the way forward? How can we sensitize those in the rural areas to understand that we are humans first?
What I think, in my own opinion, is that education is very, very important. When I say education, I'm not thinking about going to the four walls of the schools.
Yes.
People need to be educated, because when you go to that Twitter you mentioned, you see a lot of people that are highly educated still falling for this, falling on this trap of bigotry, this trap of tribalism. And what I think is the reason mostly is, apart from education, is also injustice that we see all over in Nigeria. We see a lot of injustice in Nigeria. Then we see a lot of nepotism. We see a lot of greed and corruption. In Nigeria today, when somebody that has, you don't know his background, it has nothing. He's not from anywhere. He doesn't have anything. But the moment he joins politics, he's given a position. Within some time, we can see them all over, spending money and all sorts. Nobody comes to question, how does it come about this? And people are waiting. We have a larger number of people waiting to be corrupt than the corruption we are even experiencing in Nigeria today. Everybody wants to have that position, not to do anything but to. So that is why there is this brickbat between the have and the have-not. And the haves want to maintain their position. They don't want to
also probably exploit.
And they know how and what they can do to maintain that is to use people against people. Some of them use religion, some of them use tribalism, some of them use, how do I put it? They want to maintain that their position in any way. So they have the money to use. Most of these people you see on Twitter, apart from many of them being parody accounts, many of them also are being sponsored by all these people. That your duty is to trail people that are just like
the data board,
like the football that we watch. That a particular camera is to focus on Nedu. Anywhere you go, that particular camera is for you. Then the same thing, these people they employ as data boys and their focus is you must focus on Nedu. If he cough, say something against it. If you do this setup, and all of them they are doing that, and that is what is really happening today. But what I just want to tell you is that it is only in politics that this thing becomes very very pronounced. Right. If you look about football now, you see. A lot of Nigerian in the Nigerian national team are from the southeastern part of the country. But they are carrying the flag of Nigeria and everybody is happy with them. So until that time that we will shield everything, our leaders, they need to talk more. The National Orientation Agency needs to be funded and they need to be going about denouncing this and making Nigeria what we expected to be.
All right. Thank you so much for that submission. We're rounding off very soon. We just have less than 5 minutes. This message says only government can stop random payment by exposing those involved and apply the law to them. But imagine someone's wife and father is kidnapped and he is to be killed, and you said his relatives should not pay to save their lives. The question is, are there anybodies that is powerful more than the government? The questions have no answer up till now. This is from Ola from Airport. Thank you so much. Alagbadari Kayode from Kulinde says, greetings to SP Okasomi and Nedu. To stop kidnapping and terrorism, special anti-kidnapping courts should be set up that will act fast within 2 weeks. Anyone found guilty should be executed publicly. Feeding thousands of arrested terrorists while waiting for prosecution is a wastage, and the process is very slow. Secondly, local hunters and vigilantes should be allowed to play some roles, but they should be well equipped with modern arms and gadgets. Thank you so much, Alagbadari, for that submission. All right, you're still listening to National Affairs. Let me take one more call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, Babalola from Asadam.
All right. What's your name, please?
Babalola.
All right, Babalola, please go ahead.
I want to talk about the security issue that we have first discussed.
Okay.
You know, Mr. Ajaya said something about the instrument the police people need.
Yeah.
If our police have some instrument that they can use to see long distance when something happens, I think they will be able to do something.
All right.
Like that kind of, once they call police people, because they reach that place, police cannot just be going there by that because they don't see front, they don't see what they are going to do. Once if they are doing at these people are staying somewhere and ambusing them. So there are some, what if they want to move that, do that kind of move, they have some instruments that is seeing where they are going.
All right. Our time is fast spent. Thank you so much for your contribution. All right. We have to round off on the program at this point. But I think we can still chip in one or two calls. Hello, good morning.
Nedu, good morning, sir.
Yes, please, good morning.
Yes, sir, this is Godwin from Black Journey, sir.
Welcome, Mr. Godwin. Quickly, please.
Yes, sir. What happened is that, sir, who brought them to this nation, this Boko Haram? Who brought them to foundation? Who brought them? They had in what happened is that let us cooperate, sir. You get me now? With government and buy equipment as Okasomi has said. Okasomi?
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
What about?
Thank you, sir. Mr.
Yeah, God bless you.
Nedu? Yes, please.
Nedu, God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Godwin. God bless you too. We have to go home. Thank you so much, Mr. Ajayok Okasomi, for coming this morning.
My pleasure.
May God strengthen you, and we hope that peace is restored in the state. All right. Yes, just like the security operatives normally say, if you see something, say something, and it is a collective responsibility to restore peace in our nation. On national affairs, what we do is asking the hard questions, not assigning blames, but we want to seek solutions. We want to seek the betterment of the country. My name remains Nedu Okorie. My friends call me Mazio Dogu. Since you are my friend, you can call me Mazio Dogu. Have a very wonderful weekend.